Hey everyone, welcome back to another video tutorial by Simplilearn. In this video session, we will be learning about if-else in Kotlin. So let's go ahead and have a look at what we will be covering today. So we'll start with conditionals in Kotlin. Then we'll understand different types of if-else expressions like if expressions, if-else expression, if-else-if ladder expression, and Kotlin nested if expression. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from Simplilearn. Now, let's move on to the first topic, which is conditionals in Kotlin. Conditional expression refers to a situation that may happen or exist if a specific condition is met. For example, there's a statement like, "We can sit on the front benches if we reached before the given time." Now here the conditional statement is if we reached before the given time, and the main clause is we can sit on the front benches. So here sitting on the front bench, which is a main clause, is dependent on if they reach before the time. So now there are some conditionals in Kotlin like if, else and else if. So let's have a look at that. First is if statement. If is used when a block of code must be executed based on the condition to be true. Second is else statement. Else is used when a block of code must be executed if the same condition is false. Third is else if statement. Else if is used to specify a new condition if the previous condition is false. We will understand them in detail. Now, moving on to different types of if-else expressions. First is if expression, second is if-else expression, third is if-else-if ladder expression, and fourth is nested if expression. Now, let's understand the if expression first. If expression is a conditional statement which checks if a particular condition is satisfied. The condition is specified inside the if brackets and it checks if it met the condition or not. If they met the condition, then the block will execute, otherwise not. As we can see, there is a statement, then there is if condition. If the condition is satisfied, that is, if it is true, then only the if code will execute, otherwise, if it is false, then control will exit. Now, moving on to if-else expression. The if-else expression has two blocks of statements. The if block executes if the condition is true, and if the condition is false, then the else block executes. The if-else is similar to if expression. The only difference is it has one extra block known as else block. A simple example of if-else is a conversation between a father and a son. The father says, "If you scored more than 85%, then I will buy you a car. But if you scored between 75 to 85%, then I will buy you a bike." Here, "I will buy you a car" is the code written inside the if block, and "I will buy you a bike" is a code written inside the else block. So when the son scores 85%, then his father buy him a car. But if he scores between 75 to 85% range, then he will get the bike. Now, moving on to if-else-if ladder expression. Kotlin if-else-if condition is used when there are multiple conditions to be checked. In this expression, first the if expression is checked. If it's true, then it executes the if block, otherwise it moves to the other else if conditions. If none of the condition turns out to be true, then it executes the last final else expression. To understand it, let's have a look at this example. According to this example, if a student scores marks between 80 and 105, then the cutoff is not cleared, but he or she can sit for the second examination. If the marks scored is between 105 and 130, then the cutoff is cleared. If the marks scored between 130 and 180, then the cutoff is cleared and also there will be no fee. And else, cutoff not cleared. So by this example, we understood that there are multiple conditions and each condition has a specific criteria. If the marks of the student is fit in that criteria, then that specific block gets executed. Now, moving on to the nested if expression. In Kotlin nested if expression, there are if statements inside another if statement. First, the if statement is checked. If it is true, then the nested if condition is checked. If the conditions turns out to be false, then it will move to the else expression. In this example, it checks for true in condition 1, then checks for true in condition 2. If condition 2 evaluates to true, statement 1, that is even number, is executed. Otherwise, statement 2, that is odd number, is executed. Similarly, if condition 1 evaluates to false, then else block executes and the statement's negative number is printed. So as we have understood all of these expressions, so now let's do its practical implementation.
Choose from over 300 in-demand skills and get access to 1,000 plus hours of video content for free. Visit SkillUp by Simplilearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
So this is our code editor, that is IntelliJ IDEA. So here we will be doing some examples of Kotlin if else. So let's start with the first example of if else expression. So we'll write function main and inside this function we'll create marks. Let's say the marks of the test. So we have named it test marks. Now let's say he scored 78, he or she scored 78. Now we'll use if condition and we'll write the condition that if text marks is, let's say, less than 75, then we will print you didn't qualify the test. So we'll write ln didn't qualified the test. So basically, to qualify a test you have to score more than 75. So in else block we'll write print ln, we'll write you qualified the test. So basically, if you have scored less than 75 marks, you are not qualified, but if you have scored more than 75, then you have qualified the test. Here we have used the basic if else expression. Here the test marks is the variable that we have set, let's say 78, and if we have changed it like less than 75, let's say 70, then it will get printed you didn't qualify the test. But as we have set the value of test marks as 78, so it means you qualified the test will print. It's a simple example. Let's try to run this. So as you can see, you qualified the test is printed. So as we know that the marks is 78, so it is printing you qualified the test. And if we have, let's say, marks is 70, now again let's try to print it. Now it will print you didn't qualify the test. As you can see, it is printing you didn't qualify the test. So now let's have a look at an example of nested if. So now create a new file. Here we have to change the name of this file. Alright, so in this example, again we'll write function main. Inside this function we'll create a variable. Let's say the name of the variable is num, and we'll assign it 50. Now we'll set a condition. If the value of num is, let's say, less than 100, then we'll print number is less than 100. First of all, we'll print that. Now if num is equal to 50, so this is the if condition inside the first if condition. This is the first if condition, this is the if condition inside this if condition, so it's a nested if. Now here we'll print that number equal to 50. Now inside this if condition, again we'll write an if condition saying that if number is, let's say, greater than 40, then we'll print number is greater than 40. Basically we are printing the condition. Alright, so this is the code. Now first if condition, then there is nested if condition, then there is another nested if condition. First condition says if the number is less than 100, then it will print number is less than 100. If it is equal to 50, then it will print number equal to 50. If it is greater than 40, then it will print the number is greater than 40. So now let's try to run this program. So as we can see, number is less than 100. First it is printing. After that, number equal to 50. Then the number is greater than 40. So as we know, the number is 50. That is why all the three statements are printed. Now let's say if we change this number, like let's say the number is 45. If the number is 45, then number is less than 100 is printed, and this sentence, that is the number is greater than 100, is printed, and not number equal to 50, because to print this number equal to 50 sentence, the number must be equal to 50. Now let's try to run this again. So as you can see, number is less than 100 is only getting printed, because as we can see here, to get inside this if condition, the number must be 50. As the number is not 50 but 45, so it is not getting inside this if condition. So that is why this condition is also not getting checked. So that is why only number is less than 100 is getting printed. So this is an example of nested if expression. Now let's do an example of if else if ladder expression. Let's name it if else 3. Alright, so now here we will do an example of if else if ladder expression, where we will give grades to the student based on their marks. So let's start. Function main. Inside this we'll create a variable, let's say val score, and assign it a value. So this value is the marks of the score, or you can say the score is 76. Now we'll create a variable whose type is string. Now after that we'll have to assign this grade. So basically we are assigning the value of if else if ladder expression to this variable grade. So this is how we do it. If score variable is greater than equal to 90, that is if the score is greater than 90, then we'll simply print your grade is A+. So yeah, here we'll do it. Grade is A+. Now if a student scores more than 90, then his grade is A+. Now here we'll write else if. So inside the else if there is a condition. We can write the condition inside the else if, as we know. Score is greater than equal to, let's say, 80. Then we'll print your grade is A+. Your grade is A, not A+. Now after that another else if the score is greater than equal to 70, then the grade is, we'll write your grade is B+. Else if the score is greater than 60, similarly write your grade is B. We can do same for all of these. We can just copy paste it. So this one is 60, then let's make here 50, and the grade would be C. C+. Now here would be, let's say 40. We'll do it 40 and the grade would be C. Now after that 35. Let's make it 35. Your grade is D. Now in else block we'll simply write that is your grade is F. That is if you scored below 35, your grade is F, that is your fail. So you must score more than 35 to pass the exam. Alright, now after that we can print this grade variable. And let's try to run this. So as you can see, your grade is B+. It's getting printed, and I think by mistake there is N in between. Here it is. That is why it is printing N here. So our score was 76, so that is why it is getting printed your grade is B+. So this expression is used when there is a need of multiple conditions. Like in this case, we had the need of multiple expressions, like one condition is score must be greater than 90, then only the score will be A+. Then score must be greater than 70, score must be greater than 60. Similarly, for every statement that is to be printed, there must be a specific condition. And in this type of case, we use if-else-if ladder expression. So these were few examples of if-else expressions. You can try this on your own. And with that, we have come to the end of this session. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope it really helped you all. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep learning.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.